and welcome. We are live at Sonia G. This is a Friday night live to talk about all the things that are going on. What I want to talk to you about is these numbers that are kind of happening. If you go and look, okay, at the astrology of this month of March, everybody's talking about the shift. But look at the numbers. Okay, look at the numbers combination. There's a thing that I figured out early on that I think was like one of my methods of communication with like the universe that I think is very pure is like if you just stare at a thing, right? And you be the thing, you be in the thing, you look at the thing and you just be with it and you chill out your mind, you clear your thoughts, which I know takes practice, but trust me, like especially for like a double Virgo, I know this requires a little effort. But if you just be with something, so if you go look at your calendar, look at the dates, okay? Actually just look and take in what's happening with the astrology. It's like a coding that just kind of goes inside and it'll go like, zing, like what is going on? Why do I know these numbers? Why are these numbers talking to me? And you may not even know, but a lot of the times it's like they're sequences that are meant to awaken us in some way or another, to remind us, right? To pull our attention to it. Like, why does this number seem so familiar? It's just a number, but it's really not, right? A number is a frequency. So these numbers are literally like addresses. Think about IP addresses on the websites, right? On the internet. It's a bunch of like codes and numbers. This is the same thing. We are accessing points in times that are coded to bring and to birth and to rebirth particular frequencies, right? Not only that, you guys know this is like a big deal with this equinox too, because the tilt of the axis of the earth, which is the thing that creates the seasons, right? So if this is North Pole, this is South Pole, there's a 23-degree tilt. So 23 is like one of the numbers of the earth, right? It's kind of like one of like, if you hear your birth year, you're like, oh yeah, that's me. I'm part of that class, right? There's an identification. This is one of the numbers of the earth. So obviously it's 2023, then it's like 320, like all the numbers with 3s and 2s are really coming in. Pay attention to those numbers. They're talking to you. 2 is the number to like keep going, keep the faith, keep staying on the path. 3 is a number of mastery. Okay. So, and these numbers keep repeating, and the 0 is a reset number. Okay. 1 is the number of new beginnings, obviously. And you start to understand and speak this language of numbers, it starts to make sense. There's also a lot of 7s that are activating this month. And 7 is the number of being in your highest aligned path or get into your highest alignment, right? So it's a symbol for alignment. So today, for example, is 3/3/23, which is like the portal day. This is like shifty. There's like core shifting that is happening. It's like, do you really want to believe the things that you believe? Would you like some new beliefs? Would you like to up-level your timeline? Do you feel good about your life, right? It's kind of like there's a lot of kind of shifting that's happening in the energy. And I said this on the last live, and I said it very abruptly and very directly. You have to find your connection to God. Okay, you have to find your connection to source. This is your like source of all that is, not your higher self, and you know, beyond your higher self, and not like your ancestors, and not just kind of the universe, but like we need to connect to the energy that is, you know, at the beginning of it all, at the core of it all, like the infinite intelligence. However that works for you, right? But it has to be a connection that feels intimate. I think that in this shift where it got really confusing, so back up, a lot of us have scars from religions and religious upbringings, right? Like, I mean, there was just a lot, or the lack of it, or the confusion of it. There's just been so many stigmas and so much drama in our world with that we kind of, it's like one of these phases of awakening and ascension. At the beginning, it's kind of like, oh, it's liberating to break free of all of these structures in a sense, and, you know, just kind of say the universe, and the universe has your back, and the universe, you know, all these things. And like we start to learn universal laws and et cetera, et cetera. But once you deepen that, right? And I am the first to say always God, angels, universe, because it's all together, right? But it starts with God. So who created the universe? The universe didn't create itself. So the intelligence that created the universe, the life force energy, the infinite intelligence behind it all, whatever you want to call it, I call it God. You can call it, like sometimes I call it creator of all that is, right? Because there's an energy that created it. That's who you want to connect to. And get very clear on like your connection with it, because a lot of people are getting very confused, and it's very fucking scary, to be honest with you, when I am seeing people in this, you know, kind of on the forefront of ascension that are so confused, and they are leading, you know, they're proposing themselves as leaders in this movement of ascension, in this you know, like way showers and leaders and movement makers, etc. And they are really just naming things. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to like point fingers, etc. But just be careful, because your connection with God is not twisted. Your connection with Source is not twisted. Your connection to Creator of all that is intimate. It's a very intimate connection. And it's worth taking the time to find it if you don't have that. And maybe we'll talk even more about this, but in different courses, in different metaphysical courses, I've kind of explained it. Like this is, you know, the beginning of where the dimensions, I mean, I've explained it very well inside of the metaphysical courses. Here, I'm going to kind of explain it very fast, but at the beginning, right? There's an infinite intelligence that is just the isness. And this isness at one point becomes aware of itself and wants to experience itself. That is where we go from one dimension to two dimensions. It's the mirror. It's the experience of the self, right? That's 2D. When you see yourself in a mirror and you say, it's just me and my experience of the self, I want to experience something. I want to have an experience of myself. Now that I'm aware of myself, I see myself. I want to have an experience of it. I want to go in a reality. That's 3D, right? It's 1, 2, 3. And then everything else evolves from there. But it's kind of, right, this connection that is been fragmented on so many layers. So we have the 3D, we have the 4D, which is the thoughts, right? The mental plane. We have the 5D, which is where we are merging physically, right? With well, not even merging because we're splitting actually, but it's the new earth that we are transitioning into, right? It's that higher energetic, but physical consciousness. So it's physical. 5D is right now, 5D is a frequency, but 5D will also be able to ground, right? So we're shifting into that place where we actually can create it in the physical. So all things get to be created spiritually first, and then they become physical. So this fragmentation of all of these dimensional planes, of all the energy of Source, kind of took on, you know, like a life of its own. Kind of like if you were to create, you know, like a group chat or a company, kind of like, you know, the multi-level experiences of life, like where you buy things, it's like there's trees and trees and trees. And so there's a God, and then there were other gods, and then there were more gods, and there were families of gods, and then there were human beings made, right? At the bottom of this thing, it was like, hey, it's not at the bottom of this thing because it was a low vibrational experience. At the bottom of the chain because there were so many other experiences, and it got so complex, right, in our galaxy, that it was like, hey, let's take the best of all of these beings. Let's engineer this DNA, which is, our DNA is like phenomenal. It's like the thing that everybody wants, right? In the cosmos, our DNA is the technology that all of the technology that we know is based on, right? It's like, that's where it all starts. So they put together all of this genetics and all of this DNA. I don't know why I'm telling you this story, but hopefully it's like we got into it, so it's got to serve. And our spirit, our intelligence is like, okay, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to activate all this knowledge that the other people, that the people that came before, right, the newbies that came on Earth, they haven't been able to activate this body. But we're like, we know how to drive it. So it's kind of like, you know, if you're 15, 16 years old, you just got your license, You're not going to drive like a Lamborghini, you know, like right off the race cars. Like you're not going to get in a Ferrari right away, right? Because you'd be like, oh my God, there's so many buttons, there's so many things. Where do I shift? Where is this going? This car is like overwhelming. There's a turbo, right? There's just a lot to it. So you want like a little baby Honda, you know, or whatever, or something that's like, okay, that's like, you know, what people have done so far on planet Earth. They have been inside. They've been driving cars that were like chill. They didn't get the upgrades. Does that make sense? We are like, hey, you know what? We've practiced on the racetrack. Our spirits, our intelligences, we have gone and done this thing before. I know how to operate all the buttons. Give me the stick shifts with the turbo, right? I'll get inside that human body. I'll turn it on. I'll activate the circuits. I'll figure out what's dormant in there. I'm going to get myself ready and going, right? So this is what we're doing, and this is the part where we're doing it. So we are figuring out how to activate parts of ourselves, right, that are inside the physical body, but that only our intelligence and our light can activate, which means we have to go and pick up these pieces of our consciousness. We have to activate them, right? We have to remember these things because we had to come in density, so we kind of like lost track of a lot. We couldn't bring all of our memories, right? So we have to go and integrate these higher levels in order to activate and to bring back all this knowledge that is dormant in the body, and that it's like, it's tricky to activate, right? But now hear me on this. A lot of people have figured out how to channel. A lot of people have figured out, for the worst, for the most part, some of them for the best, right? For good or for bad, people have figured out how to channel. Talking to entities, okay? Talking to beings, talking to star beings, talking to angels. There's a lot of people that channel. Now, of course, you understanding how to do this for yourself is the best. I've always taught this, right? Like there's a lot of people out there that say messages from this council, messages from this council, messages from here, messages from there. You have to remember it's filtered by whatever their personal human experience of life is. It's not like messages are ever not filtered. Like everything that comes through me, right, is obviously through my experience and my energy field. And that's the reason why I always teach you to make sure that you know how to do it for yourself, so that it comes through specifically for you. Instead of telling you the things, I teach you how to get the things, right? Which is, to me, it's like so much more valuable. It's like teaching you how to fish instead of giving you one fish. And we brought Jesus back into this. Yes. Okay. So back to this, back to what we're saying about the activations. We are breaking out of our material body, right? Parts of ourselves like light. There's like new, literally, it's like our nervous system, right? Like it kind of goes, like you kind of feel these activations that happen in your body. And our job is to be able to manage them. Our job is to be able to bring these higher frequencies, merge them, hold them, understand how to like hold them inside of the body to activate the correct places where they go. Hey, this goes here. Hey, this goes here. This goes. Let me make room. Let me breathe through that. Let me create the space with that. Let me clear, cut cords, bring it in, code it in, right? Like it's kind of like this. We are redefining who we are, but in the middle of all of this, because we signed up for this stuff is coming in. It's coming in. It's coming in. It's the X flares. It's a solar activity. It's all of the conjunctions in the astrology. These activations, like the blasts of plasma light that contain the zing, are coming in. So it's not optional to receive. We are receiving. Our only option is how we process it. Does this make sense? Like the thing is occurring, the thing is happening. The difference is how do we process it, right? So the more understanding that you have of how to activate and work through your light body and rehabilitate your light body, now you're feeling good, right? Now you're feeling healthy. Now you're feeling happy. Now you're feeling in alignment. Now you're feeling like you're on planet Earth doing the thing that you came to do. If not, you may start to feel very sick. I had someone write me the other day saying, hey, I developed this like nervous system condition. I've been doing CAT scans and MRIs and like, I can't remember exactly, but just to rule out tumors and to rule out these different things. And it's like, but they can't find a diagnosis, right? And so she said, how do you know? What's the difference between Ascension symptoms and something that's like a, you know, like a health thing that, you know, from one of the many trendy things going around right now? You guys know what I'm talking about. It's like, how do you know the difference? Well, the difference is if you go to a doctor, if you go to a hospital, they're going to just chase around. They don't have a diagnosis for you, right? It's kind of like fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia just means you have extra energy stuck in your body and you don't know how to process it. They gave it a name, and then they have a medicine, but there's no cure. The cure is do your light work, do your breath work, rehabilitate your light body. But nobody tells you that, right? When you get slapped with like diagnoses like that and things like that. So all of the things that are occurring are happening because our physical body is in dis-ease. Dis-ease, not in ease, right? It's not in health. Health is the condition by which everything in our body is in harmony. So in order to be in harmony with the higher frequencies, we have to know how to process them, right? That's the important thing. This is what's happening. So at the same time, yeah, we don't want to feel like shit lately at all. So a lot of you guys, yeah, disease. Yeah, you guys know. A lot of you guys, and I saw some other questions. How do you clear doomsday shit? So doomsday shit is a choice. Everything is a choice. All of this, like, and I'm going to say this, some people are going to hate for it. I'm going to say it straight up. It is what it is. Okay. Dis-ease is a choice. Doomsday timelines are a choice. Okay. Your mindset is a choice. The way that you feel emotionally is a choice. We are sovereign beings. So if we're sovereign beings, we are in charge of all of these things and we have a choice. Because if we didn't have a choice, we would not be sovereign beings. So when you understand that you are a sovereign being and you talk about it on the internet because everybody's so good about it, then there is no room to talk about any of these other things because you're fully in charge of your reality. Does that make sense? So if we get really honest about it, and this is really shitty, but I'll give you an example of myself recently too. And I've always been very honest, and some things are shitty to admit, but it is what it is, right? You guys know I went to LA recently with my team, and then I came home and I developed some crazy ass allergy to the whatever was in the room. It was weird, but LA has a way of testing me. Anyways, I came home, one thing or another, I was frustrated. Tensions were high. There was a lot going on at home. There was a lot going on with my family in Italy. It was just a lot going on, and a lot was going on with my team. I was figuring out some things in myself. It was kind of one of those moments where you come right around the edges, and I feel like everything had to kind of explode in my life. And I came home and I got so sick and I lost my voice. Do you guys remember that? We have some lives that I didn't have a voice for like a week or 10 days. It was crazy. And within of myself, I knew that it was a choice. I was like, so I'm losing my voice. Why is this happening? What do I need to speak up about? What do I need to find a new voice. I need to find a new way of expressing myself, which that was happening within my team, right? So my team has shifted since then, which was really good. But on the home front, my relationship, it got me in a place where the relationship that I have with Henry was getting better as I was not feeling well, which was very weird. It was a very weird thing. But I was like, you know what? I actually don't mind being a little sick, having a little less voice, feeling a little shitty right now, if it gets me this much attention and this much love. And that's just kind of the human condition. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like actually I'm okay with it. I am resting more. It's getting me to rest more, to pay more attention to my relationship, to pay more attention to my family, right? So it had good side effects for me. I had to learn those things. And the fact that I allowed myself to get sick and to be in that place unraveled all those things. Could I have done those things without getting sick? Fuck yeah, absolutely. It's always a choice. But because I wasn't doing it, I was available. I was a frequency match for that sickness, okay? Once you understand this in life, there's always shortcuts. Like there's always it's not shortcuts, but there's always a shortcut to get out of whatever, to shift any circumstance, any situation. I've shifted crazy things in like matters of days. I've healed things that, were not healable, but it always just depends on our choice and our willpower and what we're willing to put into it and what we're willing to believe, right? So the skill set is always there. So buying into doomsday timelines is a choice. Believe it or not, it's an energetic and mindset choice, right? And a lot of people, what's happening is they're used to drama and they get addicted to drama and they're hooked on the drama. They're hooked on the impulses. They're hooked on the release of, what happens in the body. When you have that, like if you have a bad relationship with someone, when you're codependent, like if you've, like a narcissistic victim kind of relationship, there's a codependency that happens where you get, you get hooked on seeking approval, even though this person is like awful. It's the thing that's happening with the government and the people of this country, right? It's just there's a bad guy and the people get hooked on being right. Oh my gosh, I told you it was going to get worse. Well, yeah, like you manifested it because that's what you got hooked in, right? So people, to clear these doomsday timelines, the question is really, what do you actually really want? How do you want to live? Do you want that thing to come true? Because if the answer is no, then stop thinking about it, stop believing it, stop hooking into it, stop talking about it, and remove all your energy from it. That's how you clear that. You remove all your energy from it. Stop giving energies to the things that are shitty. Why? Why would we do this? Instead, we witness one reality and we create another. We say, oh, this is occurring. That really sucks. I really don't want to be a part of that. That exists over here. This does not touch my vibe. My vibe is fully busy on building this reality over here, where this is how it works. This is how my world works. These are the fundamental rules of how my experience of reality goes. Therefore, even though everybody else seems to operate in this shit show over here, or in depression, or in fear, or in, ups and downs. Like today is good, tomorrow's bad, yesterday was horrible, but today is good, right? Like when people are so just like, oh, that is not having ab strength for your aura, okay? That you have no core power. You are fully dependent on your environment, right? When you have light body power is like, well, I'm sure this works for you, but I'm stable. I know who I am. I know how my reality works. Everything in life responds to me this way. These are the kinds of things I'm available for. These are not the kind of things I'm available for. Therefore, if all of these things happen in the world, I will be the exception. Somehow, my phone will work, whatever. Somehow my water will work. Somehow I will always be led in the place where the food will be extraordinary. Like somehow it will all work out for me. That's it, right? Start shifting that way and start asking yourself, oh, I wonder how the universe is going to surprise me on that. So these are the kinds of things, like shift the mindset. But I want to tell you something very important, okay? You have to embody this thing. You have to have it for yourself, right? When you hear me talking about these things, it feels solid. It feels reassuring. It feels like, you know what? Yeah, actually, I believe her. That's right. Like, I feel that. There is a way to have an exception. There is a way that it can turn different. And the reason why you feel it is because I believe it. I am for it. I am holding that, right? Like I am that. I will always manifest an alternative. Like I am not available for any of that at all. Like that is not even like touching my bubble of reality. That's not even touching. It's not even adjacent, right? Like it's so far. And so it's like when you feel it so clearly, and I am holding it so clearly, then it creates the permission and the availability for something in you to shift, right? When instead people, this is called embodiment, when instead people are just repeating words and are trying to reassure someone about something that's not happening, right? Or that they don't know for sure, but they want to make the person feel better. What do they say? Hang in there, like it's going to work out. You know, of course there's a way. Like they say words, right? But there is no substance behind them. They're not holding that. They want to offer you hope, and hope is very much awesome. Hope is good, but hope is not embodiment of a frequency. And our job, because we are here and we're speaking this and we understand who we are, right? And what we're doing. We're here at Go Time on planet Earth. We get to be the embodiment. So our job is to do our work first. Okay. If you don't embody the thing, you cannot help your people with it. All those of you that are teachers, right? Those of you that have communities, those of you that have people looking to you, those of you that share big messages to the world, you're a voice, you're making an impact. Maybe you just have a handful of clients, however it works, right? Or you're raising children, that's a big deal. Be the embodiment of the thing instead of just saying the thing. Don't make them empty words, right? Or, you know, back your words with hope. That's where it begins. Then back your words with beliefs. And then you embody it. Now you just be the thing. When you be the thing, you give permission to everyone around you to be that thing, to believe that thing, to see it, to feel it, to truly shift. This is the difference and the value of working with coaches, right? And people that have actually figured this out and know how to hold this massive frequency and this massive light. This is the only shortcut of ascension. Is working with people, right? Like the clients that work with me like one-on-one, if you're working with me closer, you get all of this knowledge and all of the benefits, and I can hold massive space that way for you to shift in what would take you years, right, on earth, because I've embodied it. And so the place where I coach from, where I help, where I come from, where I teach is a place where this reality exists, and now you already have into it. Does that make sense? Like it's so much easier because everything in your subconscious recognizes that address that I hold in my subconscious, right? It's kind of like that frequency. Frequency is an address in time. Like it's just kind of that same thing. So do this for your people. And the most important thing that you can do, those of you especially that have people that you're teaching, is don't pretend to teach something because you think it is valuable right now. Like not pretend, but don't teach something that you don't embody just to teach the thing because you think it's a good thing to teach for the people. It's whatever it is that you stand for so strongly that like you would believe it if the world came crashing down. That's the thing that humanity needs from you, okay? The thing where you are like, I am solid on this. I know this. Like this I got. And I got all y'all. Like I know. That's the thing to share about. That's the thing, right? To birth more out of. Not the thing that you're reaching for. Not the thing that you're grasping. Not the things that you're figuring out. Because those, you're not solid in there, right? And then it's going to cause this whole disservice for everybody. Right there. So go back to the things that you know for sure, the things that you're solid about. That's what you can benefit yourself and your people from. And then of course you're still learning. Like the things that I teach you guys specifically are things that I know for sure, but I'm always learning, right? When I feel solid about something, when I feel embodied about something, when I am like, you know what, I fucking got this, then, first of all, I have a testing period. Usually there's like some friends that I test things on. They're always happy for that, you know, and then I bring it to you. And this is what's happening with this whole like human design. It's happening with the astrology, astrocartography, like it's happening with the LightBody Rehab, because this course, you guys, the importance of this course is that it's bridging self-development and light body and ascension in like an extraordinary way to really redo the inside of the body. It's phenomenal. And I almost birthed it last year because I knew this course had to be. And then I was like, I am not ready to hold this. Like, this course wanted to be birthed, but I knew that it was going to be bigger than me. And I still didn't, I feel like I didn't have all the pieces. And so I was like, we're going to launch it when I'm ready. And it took like a whole year. And this is the time that it needs to be birthed, right? Like, this is it. Because this is the time that our whole system is rewiring. And I made that, thank God, I made that threshold, right? Like, I learned all the things that I needed to learn. I had to go through a lot. And for those of you that have followed my journey, you know, I went through a lot physically this last year. And I was like, why the fuck are all these physical things happen? But I was like, all right, I'm going to, you know, and then other courses were born, like the Ninja Light Workers, like courses that like brought all my skills out. Cause I was like, okay, I know how to do this. I have the skills. I have the knowledge. I'm going to heal this. I'm going to miracle this. Right. Like, and so I really got active in there. Now I see why that happened. Right. In hindsight, I look back and I'm like, oh, I had to actively test myself. Yes, I can heal this. Yes, I can make miracles happen in my body. Yes, I know how to do this. Yes, I know how to change the values, you know, in my blood results. Like, yes, I can, you know, go beyond what the doctors are seeing. Yes. And it kind of just really, my belief and my knowledge and all of these things expanded so much. And then all the things that happened with my teeth and my nervous system got me to like really dig into the nervous system and all these like things that I got so deep in, right? With like all of the different lines inside the body. I learned all sorts of like Chinese medicine and all sorts of stuff. Now I'm like, this is why. And it had to be me. It had to be on myself because then I had to heal it, right? So if it happens to me or if it happens to somebody I really care about, then you know I'm going to figure it the fuck out. Like, I'm going to figure it out because I have the knowledge, right? So I'm going to apply it. And that's what happened. And so, and my body now is better than ever. And so it's like, I understand now why I had to go through all that, because LightBody Rehab. And I had to revisit all these things and I had to learn so much more. And massive things were at stake for it, right? So it was just like, everything had to come out. That's everything that's going in this course. So you have massive amounts of knowledge that's going in this course, where we are going to rehabilitate your physical body to remember how to activate and hold and integrate these massive frequencies that are now becoming fully active on planet Earth, right? With this big shift that's occurring. And as you do this, as your light body rebirths and you come out, right, with full bloom of your field, none of the other stuff matters. Like, there is no doomsday for you. Does that make sense? Like, when you're made with so much light, right, the other things can't come close to you. And that's the thing that happens is in the world today, people are feeling shittier and shittier and depressed, and they collapse and they collapse and they collapse and they collapse. And you literally get down on yourself instead of you emerge, right? It's this feeling versus this feeling. This is what we're doing. This is LightBody Rehab, okay? And I have so much more to tell you. We ended up talking about other things today. Like, we always have so many things. Amanda says, thank goodness for extraordinaire. Yeah, my loves, those of you that are in the program, which is extraordinaire, which is the full moon, babe, Sonia G, 1 year experience. It's amazing because everything that I birth, right, then for the whole year, so everything that I bring, which is right in alignment with what's happening with the energies, everything you will be a part of. So if anybody has questions on that, I think we have it off our website, but if anybody feels called to it, you can always ask me and email me. Okay. So, yay. I'm so glad that you guys, this was so supportive, Melanie. Good. I am so glad. I'm glad. This is so important because I feel like there's just so much like panic, slightly like weirdness, false timelines left and right. Be careful, loves. Be careful with like all these people that are talking about ascension. This is how I would say, because there's people that want to offer, advice. They want to offer something. Everybody wants to feel like they're a part of the deal. They want in, right? They want to feel like they're in service. But a lot of people are not qualified for that, okay? And so there's a lot of offerings going around. Check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, okay? Your heart, your solar plexus, you know, like the centers, like your empathic centers, like if you're an empath, just check into it. Does it feel like the match for you? Does it feel like that's really going to get you where you want to go? That's really how you know. But if it feels like, well, I'm just going to kind of do this and see if it's helpful, right? That's probably not what you want to bet this big shift on. You want to do it, right? You want to feel supportive. You want that vibe where you're actually supported through and you know what you're doing. But mostly you just don't want to accidentally be led in the wrong direction. So always make sure that you do things intentionally and from your heart, right? And listening to the call of your soul. There's a lot of shit, man. Sometimes I see certain things and like, you know, on hashtags or posts flying around, or an email gets forwarded to me, or you guys show me a video, because a lot of you like send me stuff. Hey, what do you think about this? And I'm like, no, this is false. Why do people do this? Right? And I'm like, you know, it's just, they're going to have their own cycle. And a lot of people don't some people, I believe that they don't understand what they're doing. And I don't think that they understand the repercussions that they're causing on other people, but they're going to have to work out that karma when the day comes, right? So it's rough. Everybody is accountable for themselves. So always remember that you're accountable for the choices that you make. You and your soul together, right? It's like it's all recorded. It's all kept track of. So there's no hiding, because it's frequency and it's like what we do in our intentions. So if your heart is pure, right, and your intentions are pure, meaning like if you're coming from a good place and you're staying in that and you're trusting that, you will always know. But if you still have, you know, feelings of anger and pain and hurt and whatever, feelings that clog you, and so you don't feel pure, you feel tainted inside, that's stuff to clear, because that's turning your radar off, right? That's like your little, you know, like if you were, I don't know, but your compass, there you go, your navigation is off. It's like, it gets harder to find. So, do the work. Have I mentioned this month? Do the work. Okay, my loves. I came on to talk to you about LightBody Rehab, and we ended up talking about a million things, but this is the new course, and the pre-sale for it ends tomorrow night. So I strongly invite you to go and check it out. It's moonbabetribe.com/LightBody Rehab. Or you can find the link here at Moonbabes and the Light Tribe in my IG. Go to the link in my bio and it's at the very top, okay? And this is the course to feel, this is actually going to be a fun course, because I feel like we need to get out of these dramatic, I told you so timelines. Good Lord, there's so much of that in Ascension. It's so dreadful. It's almost like it just took on a different course, but there will be processing. So there will be emotional processing. There will be self-development. In fact, just in today, my mentor Gary is going to do a bonus of bridging. Man, he is so genius. We were talking about this. I was telling him what I'm doing, and we're bridging the subconscious to the light body experience and what that means, and you know, the layers of it. So it's going to be fucking phenomenal. Like, I'm excited for it myself. So he's coming in. I'm going to have a write-up about that tomorrow, so everybody knows, but I'm keeping the pre-sale through tomorrow night. The pre-sale pricing. So that's always like an amazing deal. Remember, this is 3 months. This is a 3-month experience. So you're going to be held through from equinox, which is where the shift is going to happen, right? All the way to the solstice. And that's the thing. A lot of people are going to feel like they don't have a place to land, right? Because the crumbling and the things and the rug being swept under the feet and the not feeling good. A lot of people are going to be like exhausted. Like, what else do you want, God, right? You don't want to do that. You want to have a landing. This is a place to land. This is a place to have a soft landing. This is a place to be held through, to be explained like, okay, this is what we're going to do. These are the exercises that are good. These are the foods that are supportive. This is how to detox. I'm going to bring in experts too. It's going to be a really, really fun course. And we're going to do breath work. We're going to do human design. We're going to reconnect on a whole higher level. And it's not, while we are going to connect to our higher self and God and the earth, because we always do, this is not an astral travel course. Okay. So we are working with higher frequencies in the now, in the groundedness. So this is like the complement to the other course that is like the Star Codex Crystallized. This is the landing of it. So when you feel like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this. My body is feeling this way. I have all these weird feelings. My thoughts are out of control. I don't know how to like move through this. Things feel like they're crumbling. Like I want to understand this whole thing. LightBody Rehab. Okay. We're going to be in there for 3 months and we're going to meet together and you're going to have all of the steps to it. So I'm really excited. We're going to start on the 16th and you're going to have until then to register. Okay. March 16th. So take time, ask me questions, like figure it out. And you're going to start to feel these shifts that are coming up. Like we've got some movements, right? We got Saturn moving on the full moon on the 7th, like full moon in Virgo, Saturn in Pisces. Like we're going to start having some shifts that are going to start to feel funky. And you may be like, you know what, actually, I am down to learn some new skills and some support and to feel good inside my body, right? So just remember that. When it feels like what's going on, like why don't I feel good? Why aren't things working? Like what's this new stuff? I don't understand. I want to function on higher frequencies. LightBody Rehab, okay? And we're going to feel really good. And we're also going to get, you know, the summer workout, the get ready for summer workout. We're going to get active in our physical together with the spiritual and the mental. So it's a workout. You're going to break a sweat. We're going to cry. We're going to work out mentally, emotionally, physically. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. So excited for it. Yay. Amazing. Thank you for the love. Okay. Again, LightBody Rehab. It's on moonbabetribe.com/LightBody Rehab or here at Moonbabes in the Light Tribe on the link in my bio. Pre-sale until tomorrow night. That's 3/4/23. So it's Saturday night. Okay. And then after that, you're going to be able to register all the way until the 16th. So make your plans, take time. Those of you that need to like process it, right? Figure it out, like be with it, ask me questions and kind of just go out there and see what else is available and be like, you know what, that girl, that blonde girl, that Sonia G girl, she has a thing going on. This feels like a solid place to land. This feels like I'm going to learn the things that I actually need to do and move myself through this experience where I'm going to feel good. Okay. I'm going to feel healthy and confident on planet Earth, which is so important. So I will see you soon here at Moonbabes in the Light Tribe. I love you all. I hope you're having an amazing Friday night. Stay in the high frequency lane. Do the work. Do your work. You got this. You can do it. We came here for it. Yes, get the Moonbabe ad. Thank you, Antonella. You are awesome. Go to the App Store. You guys, we are live in the App Store or Google Play and put in Moonbabes. And there's a bunch of free stuff you can get on there too to support you, right? And we're going to have a challenge in March too. So it's going to be fun. It's about to be born probably on the full moon, but we're going to do some more supportive stuff for everybody. Okay. Love you, love you, love you. I will see you soon. Bye.